Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kayla. Today's video, I'm gonna do a video series that I kind of planned on doing earlier in the year and then I put it off and never went back to it. So if you have been around for a while, in February I did a horror on my radar video, and here today in December, I'm here to do my high fantasy on my radar video. So in this video, I have a list of a couple of high fantasy books that I have not read, but I want to read. And they're on my radar. I'm kind of looking at them. I'm always seeing them. People are talking about them. That's the thing. So here's that list. So the first book that I have on my radar is The Rage of Dragons by Evan Winter. This, obviously, it's a fantasy. And we have this world that's kind of in a never-ending war. 1 in every 2,000 women has the power to call down the dragons, and 1 in every 100 men is able to magically transform themselves into like the biggest, baddest warrior ever. So we followed Tao, and Tao is just kind of this giftless guy, and a bunch of stuff has happened in his life, and he decides to be like the world's best swordsman to take revenge. And he decides to take revenge on the 3 people that betrayed him. So this is a book that I see a lot of the fantasy booktubers kind of reading and talking about. It's got a 4.32 on Goodreads, so I kind of have high hopes. I'm very excited for this. There's that one. So the next book that I have is Malice by John Gwynne, and I've read the synopsis of this book probably 10-15 times, and I still kind of don't know what it's about. So from what I get, we follow this young guy, and a bunch of warriors are going under the king's rule, and he himself wants to wield a sword and be a part of the king's rule. And then another part of the synopsis says that there are banished lands and giants start stirring up there, and that there's a great threat and sorrows. I don't understand. And then the final part of the synopsis says that a high king is trying to get everybody together for like an alliance, like the council together for like alliances. And then there's a prophecy about a black sun and a bright star. Nothing got pulled together, but everybody is talking about this book and everybody is obsessed with it. So I too would like to read it and be obsessed with it. That's why I picked that one. Okay, so the next book that I have is The Shadow of What Was Lost by James Islington. This is about a guy, and he has this gift, I believe, and he's at this school, and before he was born, there was a big war and a great loss, so everybody at the school is kind of being kept prisoner there, trying to learn how to control this gift, and the main character just kind of isn't good at school. While there, he learns that he can wield this forbidden power, I guess, and he kind of sets off a chain of events that happens. There's an enemy that kind of everybody thought was gone, comes back, and this other person shows up and is kind of intertwined with the main character because this person wakes up in the woods covered in blood. And this is what I get from the synopsis. And that sounds so interesting to me. This one, I don't know if I mentioned it for Malice, but this one has a 4.14 on Goodreads. And I think Cassidy over at Covers with Cassidy has read this, I think, or is going to read it. And if she has read it, I think she enjoyed it. There's somebody who's read this book that I think really enjoyed it. And I love the cover. The cover is absolutely stunning to me. So that one. Okay, so the next 2 books I have are physical books that I own that are obviously on my radar because I own them. And this first one that I want to talk to you about is one that, even though I haven't read the book, I hold this specific book near and dear to my heart because I've owned it for a long time and it just travels around with me. I take it a lot of times when I'm on an airplane, and I don't read it in the time that I've brought it with me. So he's here, but that is The Lies of Locke Lamora by Scott Lynch. Yeah, I think this came out in 2007, but basically we have Locke Lamora, and he is an orphan, and he kind of learns to become a thief and has like this group of guys, and they're the Gentleman Bastards. This is the Gentleman Bastards series. So Locke becomes infamous. He even like swindled the king at some point, and then there is a coup, and Locke tries to kind of deal with that. So I've heard absolutely stunning things about this. I really if anything on this list gets read first, it will probably be this one. But Scott Lynch has only come out with the first 3 books in this series so far, and the 4th book was written and like kind of almost ready to go in 2019, and then Scott Lynch got sick, and then COVID and everything happened. So on random websites, it says that the 4th book is coming out in 2024. So I'm at this point kind of nervous to start it now and then read the other ones and then have to wait. But at this point, there are people who have been waiting for the 4th book since like 2013. So if they can wait that long, I can wait less time. So yeah, the last book that I want to chat with you guys about is another one that obviously is mine, and I've had it just for a little bit because I got it for my birthday, and that is The Grace of Kings by Ken Liu. I mentioned in my birthday book haul that this is book 1 of the Dandelion Dynasty, and since getting this book, I promise you that I've read the synopsis, but most of the time, synopses of high fantasy don't make sense in my brain, so I almost go into them completely blind. However, what I get from this one is that there was kind of a land and it was divided into 7 areas, and then a king showed up and kind of brought them all together thinking there would be peace, and there is not. A lot of suffering and anger of the gods, things like that. And this is kind of a take on a reimagining, fantasy aspect of like a Chinese dynasty. I know that there is like intrigue, a lot of plot, a lot of fight scenes, and just kind of being like warriors and stuff. So I'm really interested in this. I'm very nervous because it is really big, but most high fantasies are really big. But when you guys see me read this, I will be in some kind of era. And that era is not right now, but that era is soon. So yeah, that is all I have. I have a couple more high fantasy that are on my radar, but I'm saving that for a different video. And these are just kind of the ones that are really pulling my attention right now. I know that I didn't mention the king himself, Brandon Sanderson, and that is because I'm reading Mistborn right now, so I don't need to tell you that. You know that I'm reading Mistborn. I've been reading Mistborn for a while, and I've already read the first Way of Kings, so I need to get back on that. I don't know when. So I don't need to mention Brandon Sanderson because you know I'm in deep in that journey. Here we go. Let me know down in the comments if you've read any of these. Let me know if any of these are just interesting to you. Maybe one day we can have a high fantasy, epic fantasy buddy read together if one of these is piquing your interest. And if not, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Even if you liked this or have read any of these or want to read any of these, thank you for being here. I enjoyed having you. But that's it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you need to do to help out my channel. And I will check you guys in my next video. Bye.